Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Right now at 6, damage and cleanup as we head into the holiday weekend after rain and high winds batter communities across Connecticut.
It kind of snuck up on us. I was having my coffee, looked out the window and said, oh my, there's water coming up the street.
Thousands of people waking up to no power.
Every storm is different, but our preparations are always the same. We always need to make sure that we've got the right material, equipment, and personnel in place so that we can respond to whatever comes our way.
Utility crews are working to make sure all the lights are back on in time for Christmas.
Concerns now over plunging temperatures.
It is frigid.
As last-minute travelers still hope to sleigh their way home for the holidays.
The bags were ticketed to come here, then her flight got canceled, but the bags, we think, went on, so we're hoping that they're here.
The Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
And we start things off with that weather watch alert tonight. This was the scene across the state this morning after heavy rain and, man, really strong wind gusts last night. Some areas even seeing flooding. Good evening. Thanks for joining us here in the News at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. A lot of damage across the state after last night's storm. A huge 90-foot Norwegian spruce came down on the Rocky Hill VFW's roof. That's what we're looking at here. 2 other trees smashed through the fence there as well.
We have live team coverage tonight tracking all of the impacts of the storm to the cold weather temperature drop we're going to be seeing tonight. But we start things off here with meteorologist Ryan Breton for what we can expect overnight. Ryan.
Hi, Ben and Sarah. The story right now, the rapidly dropping temperatures. The temperature has dropped 14 degrees in just the last 2 hours in Waterbury. It's now down to 22 degrees there. So any leftover moisture, standing water, freezing up solid. The hope is that the wind and dry air will help dry up some of that surface moisture so we don't have black ice everywhere. But there certainly will be patches of black ice forming as these temperatures drop. Another thing we're watching late tonight, maybe a little bit of snow off Long Island Sound in southeast Connecticut. There are a few flurries out there right now, a few moving through northern Connecticut, another one around Oxford and Waterbury as well. Here are the numbers. We're down to 27 in Chester, 28 in New Haven. There's the 22 in Waterbury, and now down to freezing in Hartford with a temperature of 32. And you can see the entire western half of the state has temperatures that are now below freezing. It is still windy, but it is now a cold wind coming in out of the southwest. Unusual to have cold air coming in on a southwest wind, gusting right now to 48 miles per hour in Groton and 43 miles per hour in Bridgeport. The worst wind is behind us, but it will remain gusty through the night with some gusts topping 30 miles per hour. Wind advisory still up until 9 o'clock tonight, and then a wind chill advisory for northern Litchfield County, where the coldest wind chills are expected overnight into tomorrow morning. So by 10 o'clock tonight, down into the teens, maybe as cold as 8 in Torrington, and then overnight, perhaps some snow right along the southeast shore. We'll talk more about that and the very cold weather for Christmas Eve coming up in just a little while.
All right, Ryan, thank you. Well, branches bringing down wires in nearly all corners of our state, forcing people to exchange holiday plans for emergency plans.
Right now, more than 60,000 Eversource customers are without power. Newtown, New Milford, and East Haddam are seeing the most outages. United Illuminating is reporting about 600 outages. The areas impacted the most: Stratford, Woodbridge, and Orange.
We continue our live team coverage here. Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez has been speaking with businesses and homeowners who are now planning for an unexpected Christmas. She joins us live outside Eversource headquarters with the latest. Samaya.
That's right. Yes, some people waking up to a robocall from Eversource warning of outages in their community. Now, there are hundreds of line crews out right now, but these winds are still wreaking havoc.
Obviously, we're hoping it wouldn't happen, but we're ready if it did.
This East Hampton nursing home running on a generator after a massive tree pulled down wires across the street.
Emergency management is also aware, so God forbid something happens with that, we have a contingency upon contingency.
Cobalt Healthcare and Rehab Center fully staffed and marching on with indoor holiday party plans Friday for 30 patients while line crews fixed wires on Middle Haddam Road.
Wish it wasn't, Christmas weekend, but it is what it is.
And are you ready for it if it takes days and days and days to get the power back on?
We're ready.
Others, like Charlene Marquise O'Brien in neighboring Moodus, ready to pivot away from traditional plans after a massive evergreen blocked the driveway.
Because of the weather, we kind of are just celebrating at home. We're not having company because maybe they can't get to our house, or we would be without power. And how do you prepare food when you have no power? So we're just going to have a very quiet Christmas at home.
Eversource has 450 line crews working to clear roads and restore power Friday.
We're working largest outage and just working our way down to the smallest outage and pushing for full restoration.
Efforts are around the clock with overnight crews taking over, but there's no clear timeline for full restoration.
We know the cold is here. We know that tomorrow's Christmas Eve, and right after that is obviously Christmas Day, and we are all pushing as hard as we can to get our customers back.
And again, this isn't over. So long as these wind gusts continue to pick up, well, it could cause even more damage. We're live in Hartford. Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61 News.
Maya, thank you. The wind and rain wreaked havoc all along the shoreline, from toppled trees to washed out roads. Fox 61's Matt Caron made stops in 2 Connecticut communities in 2 different counties to survey the damage and the frustration. There's plenty of both. He joins us live from Brantford. Matt.
Well, hi, Ben. We're live here on Leeds Island Road in Brantford, and this is where we've been observing vehicles having a crucial decision to make. Do they want to take their chances and proceed through these floodwaters that have covered the road, or do they stop and turn around? And we've seen people choose both. Let me just pick up this rock and sort of give you a sense on how deep this water is. Hopefully you can see it and hear it. Here we go. All right, not a great throw, gotta eat my Wheaties, but you get the gist. In the middle, probably several feet of water, a dangerous situation. And as you go throughout different communities here, especially along the shoreline in Connecticut, you're gonna wanna take it slow, be careful on these blind curves. You just never know what you may encounter.
Well, the road never used to get flooded.
Leeds Island Road in Brantford is home to a rather truthful street sign. It stops some in their tracks, while others took their chances.
Climate change. It's obvious.
Living on the 2nd floor of the Red House in the Curve since 1979, Ursula Pollack has seen a lot from her bird's eye perch.
It's gotten a lot worse over the years.
So bad, in fact, it put farmer Jay Medlin out of business.
We were forced to sell the cows, and they went to Pennsylvania, and I should have went with them.
You see, Medlin Farms, which Jay's grandfather started in 1890, used to be a thriving dairy farm, producing bumper crops of vegetables. That is, until the nearby levee broke, sending a flood of salt water to saturate his fields.
Salt water and vegetables don't mix, so now we just do firewood. So, yep, we're winding down, I guess.
To Old Saybrook now, the Middlesex County beach town saw its share of flooding. Just where I'm standing, take a listen to all that water. It's about 4 inches right here. In the middle, probably more than a foot. It flooded this parking lot and surrounded this camping trailer on Elm Street. While over on Old Post Road, it was the wind that brought down this tree on a house at 6 a.m.
One tree that landed on a house that caused some minor damage. There are some people that could not get out of their houses or get back to their houses until the water receded. There was a lot more localized flooding than we actually expected.
All right, so back here in Brantford, the story now is no longer the flooding. That's sort of over and done with. The story now is the wind. Actually, just a couple of seconds ago off camera, we had one of our lights blow over. It even had a sandbag on top of it. So these gusts, you can feel them. And I've been hearing Ryan Breton talking all evening long about the wind chill and the colder temperatures. And yeah, I can confirm that. Those temps are plunging. Be careful of black ice. Be careful if you're traveling. For now, we're live here in Brantford. Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. As the temperatures continue to drop tonight, the concern now is the potential for freezing on the roads.
Yeah, Fox 61's Gabby Molina is live at the Fox 61 Storm Tracker with more on the challenges crews will be facing tonight. Gabby, what are you seeing?
Well, Ben, Sarah, we actually just started to see some flurries, so I'll give you a look at that in just a second. You can see that, well, it's a little bit hard to see actually, but you can kind of see that it is coming down, so a little bit of snow, which we did know that could be a possibility tonight. But really, the crews now, their focus is on this drop in temperatures at this point, and they're facing a lot of challenges. Really, the window of time that they had to try to treat the roads before temperatures dropped significantly. In Meriden, more than a dozen trucks were finally able to head out around 4 o'clock today to get some salt on the roads. Any earlier, the rain would have washed it away, and even without the rain, just the wind itself is posing a challenge because it can blow the salt right off of the street. And those are just a couple of the factors that crews have to consider.
We monitor road temperatures. Road temperatures play a significant, have a significant impact on how we get after the road. So it's not just air temperature, it's not just precipitation, frozen or wet, it's also road conditions.
So back out here live, you can kind of start to see the snow again, but the roads really have dried off, I think, a lot with that wind. I know Ryan mentioned that the wind did play a factor in helping to dry it out a little bit. The public works director that I spoke to also said that they did give it a little bit of time from that afternoon rain, once that stopped, to try and let the wind dry it off a little bit. Then they put the salt on. But again, it's those little patches that stayed wet that you're going to have to watch out for. So if you are going to be out on the roads today, please take it slow and keep in mind that there might be black ice out on the roads. We are in the storm tracker tonight. We're going to be looking out for any issues. We're going to be keeping an eye on conditions, so we will keep you updated on that front. Live in the storm tracker in Meriden, Gabby Molina, Fox 61 News.
All right, Gabby, take it slow. Thank you. The state's severe cold weather protocol just going into effect a few minutes ago in response to the cold temperatures. Anyone in need of a warming center or shelter can dial 211 to find the closest available facility near you. It was originally slated to last until Monday, but the governor has now extended that through Tuesday at noon. In response to the cold temperatures, Hartford is opening an emergency daytime warming center this weekend. The Arroyo Recreation Center on Pope Park Drive will be open every day through Monday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Snacks and a hot lunch will be served all 3 days. Residents looking for an overnight center can go to 110 Washington Street, which will be open 24 hours a day until the cold weather protocol ends.
And make sure to download the free Fox 61 app, especially in the event that you lose power. You can turn on alerts to get notified whenever a big storm is headed our way.
Still to come.